Y'all some pussies. Y'all don't want to pay that doctor bill. So therefore, you're not going to pick him up now. You're going to let him stay home because you don't want to forfeit that. You don't want to take care of that bill. You want to forfeit it. You want to leave it on his family. But you're the reason why he's locked. He's in the situation he's in because your officer shot him. That's who you train or allowed to be trained. And I feel like he didn't get the training that he was supposed to get. The chief wasn't in his office Friday. The mayor wasn't in his office Friday. I'm pretty sure they know we was protesting. We wouldn't have to come to the city council meeting if you would have been there to answer our questions at the office. But I think that it's a conflict of interest. I think the state police, the FBI, somebody should have been called in way before now. We wouldn't have to have the family members here or concerned citizens here to find out what's going on. Because just like the law, you said, it's not what you're telling us, what you're not telling us. And I think that time is of the essence. I think that you need to get on the ball and move. I think that the community is asking for removal of the chief and even the task force unit you have. They're not properly trained. And not only that, you got somebody on the task force that was terminated from Baton Rouge. And you allow him to come to Hammond and become a police officer? If my record shows that I've been terminated somewhere for a situation, I'm sure I won't get a job at the next place if I use my resources. Any job application I fill out, they say, hey, I want to know where you was been working at for the last 10 years. You leave any gap out, the application ain't no good. You got to fill that gap in. So if anybody did a background check on that officer, you would have said, hey, we can't have you here either. And I know we have people in office that actually breaks the law. The sheriff in St. Tammany, a fucking creep. The rumors that I hear about Daniel Edwards, that was in my house in a search warrant. When does the sheriff go out actually go to a search warrant with a task force? Roddy Duvall. When does Roddy Duvall go to a search warrant execution with a task force? Never. But they did in my residence years ago. And who am I? Nobody. They didn't seize thousands and thousands of drugs in my house and thousands of guns. And I know I was violated. My Fourth Amendment rights. That's why I'm here. Not so much about Lionel, but because every person who walks this planet has a constitutional right. That preamble say, we the people of the United States in order to form a more perfect union. The Star Spangled Banner, the land of the free, is that who we are? Do we allow tampering? Do we allow obstruction of justice? Is that who we are because we have a little power? You're letting the people down. And you say your motto is to protect and to serve. I believe you protecting the person who did the shooting, but you ain't serving the justice to the people. I'll leave you with that.
Good evening. My name is Tabitha Williams, and I'm not so much, well, I am angry, but more hurt than angry. I'm hurt because when the mayor was running for mayor, I saw you in several places in the black neighborhood trying to get votes. Everywhere I saw you. At park events, different outings, I saw you everywhere. But I myself have called your office. I'm sure many of the people behind me have called the office. I just asked the mother, who is also my cousin, have you taken any calls? Have you called to give any type of sorrow? Have you called to talk to them? And you haven't. And I don't know if I could direct the question to you, but I would like to know why, since I can't get you on the phone. I would like to know why the chief is still active. I would like to know why his nephew is still active. I would like to know why there are so many guns. Okay, drugs are a problem. I understand that. But my question is, why are there so many guns in these children's hands? Why aren't you going searching for that? Why aren't you going looking for that? Why isn't that put somewhere where that stopped? Because people are getting killed. I hate the situation. I hate the drug situation. I hate the gun situation. I hate all situations, but I especially hate when someone, I didn't vote for you. I voted for the Wells this term. I didn't vote for you. I voted for you last term because I thought you were great. The term just passed, I voted for Wells, and I'm not afraid to say that. But what I am ashamed to say is that you're failing us as a mayor that the people voted in. So I'm asking you now, could you give some type of answer to her?
Well, obviously, we're very sorry and sympathetic to your family for what you're going through. To answer the questions that just this gentleman came up and stated, I can't. And why can't I do that? I don't know all the answers that have been done in the investigation, but I will say this. You know, at what time do we allow people to know what's going on, Andre? I mean, at what time we always have to wait until the investigation's over. To some of your questions, I wish I could answer them for you. But I can tell you this, the march, thank you for having a peaceful march, because it's your right to do that, and everyone respects that. Our police officers are out there. We can't control these children that have guns, whether they're stealing them, how they're getting them. There's not a police officer out there that would pass a child that they saw that had a gun and not stop.
I'm certain they would not. But they didn't pass him with drugs. They made it their business to go and find him. They didn't pass him. They made it their business to go and find him. So why aren't they making their business to do other things? And another thing, I didn't know it, but I know today, because Councilman Wells said that you are the only person that has the ability to fire him. So I asked you, why is he still working?
Because I think he's doing a good job.
And that alone says a lot for you. That right there says a lot for you. Because if you think he's doing a good job and he's covering something that is...
He's not covering anything up, ma'am.
Okay.
He is sitting there right now. This is a police officer in his division. You say it's his nephew. You say, this is whether it is or not, this is an individual in his office that was in a situation that I don't believe anyone in this room, Angelo included, you get in the situation he was in, it's an uncompromising situation, and it's unfortunate.
Isn't that a conflict of interest?
No, I don't think it is.
If it's his nephew and he's overseeing it, that's a conflict of interest.
He is not overseeing this investigation.
So who is? Because it's in-house.
Angela? And then also, we're working through Andre with the FBI. I mean, look, there's nothing being hidden here. If someone does something wrong, they do something wrong.
So
Mr. Wells said it. You have good and you have bad. But when things happen, that doesn't necessarily that perception is what you're seeing and what gets created. I get that. But when the truth comes out, it's the truth. If somebody's wrong, they're wrong. If it was right, they're right. But I'm not quite sure.
But you just made a statement that made you quite sure. You said that he isn't wrong. So that made you quite sure, because you didn't say, I don't know if he's right or wrong. You said he hasn't done anything wrong, so you made a statement.
Nothing's done until you're proven. It's like a criminal. You're not guilty until you're proven guilty.
And you're not innocent until you're proven innocent.
Correct.
But you just said he was innocent. You said he's doing a great job.
My police chief, not the person that was in the accident. We don't know what happened there yet.
Okay.
But it is under investigation. No, you don't want to hear that. Nobody wants to hear that.
I want to ask real quick, the guy that the gentleman over here said about he was terminated from Baton Rouge and we hired him. Is that a true statement? Is there a guy that was terminated in Baton Rouge and we hired him in the police department? I'm just trying to wonder if we have policy in place that we're not, I hope we're not hiring terminated policemen from wrongdoing in different places with the amount of pay we're giving. We should be able to get top quality officers in this in recruitment. So I hope we have some policy on that on the books for not hiring terminated for wrongdoing police officers from other agencies. I mean, that's I don't want that taking place, and and our tax dollars paying that. So I mean, I hope we got something on the books on that.
Yes, ma'am.
I am Lionel Jackson's grandmother.
Yes, ma'am.
And my heart is very heavy. I say, my grandson, which is just like my son, he could have been dead. From the way I heard they came into his home, he could have been frightened, jumped up, and when him jumped up going to the door, he could have got killed. So when I think about other young people, and I discovered that they lost their lives, I say, my God, that could have been my grandson. He could have been dead today. He could have been buried right now And we wouldn't have had no more Lionel Jackson. Someone else, but not our blood Lionel Jackson. So I'm very hurt over what happened to our grandson. He's unable to eat. He got to be fed by a tube. And that's something he don't like. He's losing weight because he don't want to eat through the tube. I'm just hurt the what he have to go through it. He's my grandson and I love him. And whatever happened, it is wrong. How you gonna tip in somebody's house at 6 o'clock in the morning? He could have been a dead person. But I thank God he's living on grace. We pray for him every day, every night, that God will keep him covered. And God covered him. And thank you for this.
Yes, ma'am.
I am Lionel Jackson's mother. It's been very, very stressful. And all I'm asking for Lionel is justice.
All right, Andre, could you make a comment for me on what we discussed so everybody would know why we are not saying certain things up here? With the, I know that, but still, I adjourned it, but still, they
Adjourned, so I
right.
think it's a courtesy to hear people and what they have to say, and so, but the meeting of the city council was adjourned.
If we would have still been in meeting, due to the fact that this is not an item on the agenda, and it would have been addressed, we all could have been fined by the state. Yeah, so, all right. No, I just wanted to be on the record. That's all.
Can we put it on the agenda for next meeting? Sam, can you put that on the agenda?
Yeah, I'd have to ask Kip. Yeah, I mean, he's the president, so whatever, yeah, if you want to put it on there. What is this right here? Officer, yeah. Angela, you know anything about this? Terminated this guy, this officer? In Baton Rouge, is this true or what?
I'm not 100% certain if it's true. I've got conflicting stories about it, but I saw something that was posted that says that he was terminated
Okay.
by Baton Rouge PD.
Do we have policy though in Hammond Police Department about terminations from prior police departments? Do we have anything against hiring that or?
We have background checks and they go through the process. And I don't know exactly what
Okay, all right, thank you.
Out of courtesy, and the meeting was over with, President Kip gave all y'all a chance to speak. And you have to look at the situation that he's in. And I'm gonna say it again. It's not a black or white thing, it's a right thing. He's in a terrible situation because he know what take place in the community. Not only do he have to speak to you all and see you all, he have to go see the other people and talk to them and let them know. So I'm gonna say this here, thank you so much again for being peaceful. I don't want to say too much because I got a lot in me too, and I'm angry. And I've been praying, but kept doing the best he could do. Realize this here, a lot of times you see us up here, but I promise you, if we don't sit on our hands, I'm talking about Kip and I, if we don't sit on our hands, you won't get nothing. We have to sit on our hands. Sometimes we have to keep our mouth closed. Everybody up here don't have to keep their mouth closed. But we have to keep our mouth closed. Some things we can talk about, some things we can't talk about. But until it start taking place in the other communities, it'll be a different. Right now, people can say what they want. Hammond is divided. Blacks on one side, whites on one side. It's divided. We go to the poll this show. But you the same ones make this noise, make the damn noise at the poll. Let them know that we tired. We make the rules. The people that y'all don't vote for, them the ones making the rules. And they gonna keep making the rules. And the rules gonna always be against you because you don't have a voice. Start voting. That's how real it is. Don't let nobody pay you not to vote. Tell them keep their money. Start voting. That's how real it is. Nobody gonna tell you. Start. They look at the black race, y'all no longer needed. The black race is no longer needed. Yeah. Yeah, I'm saying it. You no longer need it. That's why they don't worry about what you say. Around the world, it's real. They said the meeting over. I got to go.